So this is our annual DISCWORLD Calendar, which I've asked Mark if I can do a preview before he looks at it and starts filling it in. Then we had a little bit of an argument about it and he won.
Certainly.
Hold on. So Mark's going to open it. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to look at the front. You can't order anything from Discworld anonymously. I've ordered him presents in the past, but they have all these stamps on them. Ankh-Morpork, handle with WIV, care. So you can't...
Or else. Ankh-Morpork city stamps.
So yeah.
There's a stamp from the Unseen University. Handle with care.
What does that say? Zach's Magical Emporium.
Emporium, yes.
Who did that? Oh, is that an Ankh-Morpork?
It's a
shop?
place in Ankh-Morpork, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pause you whilst he opens it. So that's how it comes, and it's got thank you. Is that a thank you note?
It is.
No. I think it's the same on both sides. Oh no, it's not.
No.
Your receipt from the Ankh-Morpork Guild of Thieves. Your caring professional wealth reallocators. And it says, oh, you read it, what it says here, this, there.
And written on the bottom of this form is, here, this stuff is much too nice to nick. I'll be around yours after to find something else. Thank you. That's because the city of Ankh-Morpork is run by the, oh, blimey, what's his name?
Oh, Teneri.
Veterinari. Who is, he operates on a democratic process. It's one man, one vote. He is that one man and he has the vote. Nobody else. But it includes, instead of, having all the trouble with crime and thievery and the rest of it, he sets up guilds. One of the guilds, there's a guild for beggars, there's a guild for ladies of negotiable virtue, there's a guild for thievery, a thieves guild, and they run themselves. They report to veterinary, but you pay a set amount each year to the thieves guild, and they make sure you only get mugged a couple of times in the entire year. And, in relatively minor ways. So everything works out rather well. And they regulate themselves. Any unregulated thieves, not members of the guild, get their comeuppance if they start doing anything.
Well, this vlog's going to take a lot longer than it was without Mark.
Oh.
Now, hold tight.
I'll leave, shall I?
No. So that's the front, which you'd be looking at anyway, through the sellotape. So let me just see how that's going to open up. Right. I think that's okay. Yeah. I had to do a lot of adjustment for that. So this is, you can't read it, can you?
No, there's a foot on it.
Foot on it. Well, that's tough. Well, that's the only way I can do it. Shut up. It's gargoyles or something.
Gargoyles. Yes, the gargoyles, some of them are employed in the City Watch. They're very, very good at watching from rooftops. And they would just stay there watching, doing nothing, moving not at all, for days on end if necessary. But in this case, they've wandered off and sheltered in the attics of the first sign of rain. They held that because they were...
Hold on, please. There you go, can you see it now?
Because they were ugly, it didn't mean they were stupid. That's from Equal Rights, apparently. I don't remember that bit.
Okay. So we did February. This is January.
A crystal was a tricky thing to use at the best of times. And usually, staring into it meant that one thing the future could be guaranteed to hold was a severe migraine.
Who is that?
I'm not sure.
Miss...
Oh,
Hilda
Goat Founder. One of the witches. I don't remember her.
Oh,
I think she's one of the lesser minor characters.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, pause a minute. Action.
Darwin's theory of evolution explains how lower life forms can evolve into higher ones, which in turn makes it entirely reasonable that a human should evolve into an orangutan whilst remaining a librarian, since he's been no higher life form than a librarian.
Where is the librarian on there? I can't.
There.
Oh, he's in the middle.
In the middle. That's the Arch Chancellor of the university. Oh, it's on wheels.
Terry Pratchett, is that at the back with the beard?
No, that's the Arch Chancellor.
No, here.
I think it's just another old
bearded
wizard
person. Like you, old and bearded.
And that must be Rincewind, who's the inept wizard who's never actually passed any final exams.
Okay.
They may be wizards, witches and barbarian heroes and live in a world that looks like a fairy story, but they still have to get up in the morning, brush their teeth, get through the day and take the dragon to the vet because he's off his coal.
Off his coal?
Yeah, well, dragons, they eat coal.
Oh, of course they do.
They're all kinds of things, actually.
Absolutely.
They're small chemical factories.
So this is April.
That's all the characters in Discworld.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
This is May.
Lo, he comes with 3 stars on his brow, and in his hand 9 daggers, which is a good trick. And about him spin 5 orbs. His left foot resteth upon a lion, and his right upon a crocodile. So it's a bit tricky getting him in through the door.
And he is?
He's the god of celestial orbs and geometries.
And it's from the Discworld Almanac.
Oh, is it?
I think some of this is, as we've gone on through the years, they're becoming more and more, or less and less recognisable, the characters on the calendar. Because this is probably our 8th year of a Discworld calendar, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well,
it won't be from an original Terry Pratchett book.
no.
It'll be from the follow-on books.
A life without danger is not a life worth living.
This is
Raising Steam.
Raising Steam.
This is a bit difficult, this one, because it's over 2 pages.
And Raising Steam, I find I've only read it once because I think it's later in his series, and he worked with less cooperation, I suspect. So the storyline is a bit more, I don't know, it's laboured. It's harder to.
Less cooperation or collaboration?
Well, because he had a form of dementia.
Yeah.
He works in cooperation with others, and that works extremely well in the later ones. I always think with Raising Steam, he may well have written it on his own. Yeah. So the storylines get a bit obscure and a bit lost somehow, it feels. So I've only managed it once. This is Lord Vetinari, the patrician of Ankh-Morpork, who is the one man with the one vote.
Oh, he looks more evil than I ever imagined.
He does in this picture. This picture, yes. I think it was. I've seen Charles Dance do it in a film with it looks better, but whatever. And it says, this is from Guards. Never build a dungeon you wouldn't be happy to spend the night in yourself, said the patrician, laying out the food on the cloth. There will be a happier place if more people remembered that. I think in Guards, he gets captured and put in one of his own dungeons, which he's designed himself, of course. There you go.
This is August, and he's your favourite.
One of my favourite characters, the orangutan. This is from Unseen Academicals, when the wizards have to play a game of football against city teams who are a bunch of cloggers and thugs, basically. Wizards were competitive, It was part of wizardry. Wizards have no more idea of a friendly game than cats have of a friendly mouse. And the storyline is such that if they don't play this game, they lose, by ancient statute, the tracklements that are served with all their meals. Tracklements is a word I had to look up. It's actually not originally from, it is an actual word, not from Discworld, but it involves somewhere in the middle courses of meals, of which the wizards eat large numbers and huge amounts. About 15 trolleys of different cheeses. 5 of the trolleys contain things like tracklements, chutneys, and other sauces to go with the condiments to go with the cheese. And they are loath to lose such an important part of their nourishment. There you go. Do you want me to start reading the story out? I can go and find it. Two more of my favourite characters. That is Sam Vimes, who you first meet lying in the gutter, smashed out of his skull, drunk, because he's a drunk. But he's in Ankh-Morpork City Watch. And somewhere in the course of his duties and the storylines, he runs into Sybil, you see on the right, who is from the aristocracy. Very well off, single, runs a charity that looks after lost swamp dragons, 2 of which you can see. 2 good characters. They meet and get married. A swamp dragon is a badly run, dangerously unstable chemical factory, 1 step from disaster. Quite a small step. That's from Men at Arms. That's Granny Weatherwax, one of the principal witches. Sometimes, brackets, Hokey, close brackets, manifests himself as an oak tree, or half a man and half a goat. But mainly I see him in his aspect as a bloody nuisance. Equal rights.
So this is October.
This is Death, who appears in quite a few of the books. Usually accompanies people as they've just passed to help them into whatever comes next. I do like to get into the spirit of the thing, he's saying. Quite a likeable character. He struggles very hard to get to understand how human beings exist and how to be like them or to understand them. It's hard work. He never really quite gets the hang of it, but there you go. This is from Hogfather. I think it's where the unseen universities that the wizards inhabit and teach in, supposedly, becomes haunted because people start talking about old beliefs and things, and the belief starts to become corporate and actually exist.
It's the eater of socks.
The eater of socks, moaned the senior wrangler with his eyes shut. How many tentacles would you expect it to have? Said the lecturer in recent runes. I mean, roughly speaking.
Doesn't look like it's got 1 tentacle.
No, it's got a big, broad trunk for sucking up socks and eating them.
So that's December, and that's the back. There.
Right.
Thank you, mon amour.
De re.
Thank me. You can thank me as well if you want for letting you do that.
Thank you, ma amour.
It doesn't work, does it?
Doesn't it? Oh,
Ma chérie.
Ma chérie?
Amour.
Ma chérie amour?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, her. Right.
You mean her? That's me. Okay.
Right then. I'll put it away, shall I now?